Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Brockopp side. Ready or Not was directed by Matt Bettinelli-Open and Tyler Gillette, and is about Samara Weaving playing this girl who basically gets married into this illustrious board game empire, and on the night of her wedding she has to take place in a family game night, which ends up turning into a deadly game of hide-and-seek where everyone in the house is trying to murder her, so she has to make it through the night, possibly kill some people, all while wearing Chuck Taylors and a wedding dress that just gets slowly more and more bloody as the film progresses. So I actually got to see this movie Monday night with an advanced screening, but I'm just now getting around to reviewing it because, well, time's not a bitch. I am. But basically, Ready or Not was a really fun end of summer surprise that was definitely a good horror film to end off the summer movie season with. So this is the kind of horror thriller type movie where it really kind of hinges on a strong lead character in the role, and they definitely have that here with Samara Weaving as the main lead, and she really pulls off this role very well, you know, not being somebody of a high society type thing, you know, kind of a lower class girl coming into this richer family. You know, she's got a fun sense of humor to her. She actually has some really funny moments throughout the movie, and as the film progresses, you start to feel for her a lot more, so you absolutely want to see her make it through the end of this movie, which is kind of one of the most important parts of being a lead in a horror movie, is that you want to see the character get through it, and also kind of get put through the ringer quite a bit, and boy does she get put through the ringer in this movie, doing some really gross and fricked up stuff in this film, which I don't really want to give away, because I feel like I'm going to ruin some surprises if I do. The rest of the cast is pretty good as well, including this rich family that's trying to kill Samara Weaving over some superstitious bullcrap. But probably the one character in the family that stuck out to me the most was this creepy aunt that's just always giving you that death stare and always creeping in the corner of the room. And she was kind of a wild card throughout the movie, but she's definitely the one that stuck out to me the most. Now, one could say this movie is a horror film, and I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that, but really it's more like a dark comedy. There's a lot of humor throughout the film, but it blends together with the scenes very well, and it's intentionally a funny movie. It's not just kind of in there to break tension, and it doesn't take you out of the movie. You know, you got all these moments like people accidentally killing the help, where it's like, you weren't supposed to kill the help, you're supposed to kill the other one. Well, I'm sorry, I've never used the crossbow before. You know, you got these other moments too, like these characters disposing of bodies and just, having a casual conversation while the bodies just go plop into this hole in the ground. And that was probably my favorite thing about this movie, besides Samara Weaving, is that I just love the dark humor in this movie. It's not something you get a lot of very often, and when a movie like this comes around and gives you an entire movie with dark humor like that, I thought it worked really, really well, and I kind of wish we could get a little bit more of that in some horror films like this. But also what makes this movie a lot of fun is the blood and gore. It's very bloody, very violent, very gory. Some moments are gonna make you kind of cringe a little bit, not in a bad way, but in like a, ooh, she died that way, that's, ooh. So kind of blending all these things together make for a really strong horror film, but, the movie's still not totally immune to some horror cliches, like Samara Weaving's character. There's a scene where she has an opportunity to get out of the house and escape, but then she decides to go deeper into the house, and there's a moment where she doesn't take one of the bad guy's weapons when he's down. So the movie's not perfect, but it's pretty near perfect aside from like a couple little horror cliches here and there. But overall, I really, really, really enjoyed Ready or Not. It was a really fun, refreshing, dark horror comedy, which I really liked. I love the cinematography of it as well, and how it takes place primarily in this mansion. So having a single location like that's really, really cool. So getting to see a movie about a girl in a wedding dress killing a bunch of rich people because they're trying to kill her was nice change of pace. So all in all, Ready or Not was a really fun end of summer horror film with plenty of blood, guts, gore, and a lot of dark humor to go around. I definitely recommend checking this movie out if you haven't already. And yeah, never playing hide and seek ever again. So those are my thoughts on Ready or Not. If you guys have seen this movie, or if this movie is gonna forever ruin family game night for you forever, let me know about it down below, and we'll see you on the Brockopp side.